Hello, and welcome to Dead Letter Movie Chat, Episode 8, recorded September 22nd, 2014. I'm Tim.
I'm Andrew.
Shout out real quick to my halflings, my boys, Bilbo and Frodo, who are freaking ancient today. But tonight we're reviewing the new Terry Gilliam movie, The Zero Theorem, starring Christoph Waltz, Melanie Cherry, David Thewlis, Tilda Swinton, and Matt Damon.
Eventually.
Yeah. A little bit of Matt Damon. Just a little
bit of Matt Damon. Extended cameo of Matt Damon.
Yeah. But he's on the poster.
And it's not like it doesn't hurt us to tell you that Matt Damon's in the movie.
No.
So
they put his name on the posters. It's all right.
They didn't seem to hey, Matt Damon's in this movie. No one ever talked about it.
Not like Superman starring Marlon Brando.
Yeah, it's not like that. Yeah.
So Terry Gilliam, filmmaker who did Brazil, Time Bandits, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas,
12 Monkeys,
half
of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. He's the Yankee from Monty Python.
Right, the one American and the guy who did all the animations for Monty Python.
Yeah. So
very, very unique guy, interesting talent. He's done some other movies that we won't talk about. But this is his newest. It's very very existential, angsty, about protagonist Qohen Leth, played by Christoph Waltz, who is a sort of reclusive computer whiz type guy. He's not exactly a programmer.
He's a number cruncher.
Yeah,
that's
they say
the title
he
they give
crunches
him.
Entities, which are much, much more complex formulas than numbers, they say. And he's given a task by management, played by Matt Damon, to work on this formula that, if proven, will ultimately mean that everything adds up to nothing. And it's kind of his view on the universe, how he relates to the people around him, how they relate to him. What does he think of the work he's doing? What does that mean to him? What does it mean to other people? So, I don't know. I felt like there was an awful lot of Brazil in this movie. It felt very, very much the same in a lot of ways. I've forgotten the character's name, but Terrence Stamp in Brazil.
Or do you mean Jonathan Pierce?
Jonathan Price, good grief.
Pierce. Yeah, that guy.
Yes. Yeah, that guy.
Lead guy from Brazil.
Right. Jonathan Price was very, very much like Christoph Waltz in this film. We have the big bureaucratic organization that kind of runs things, very, very impersonal. Yeah, lots of absurdity. I don't know. I felt like this was less blatantly absurd than Brazil. Had a lot of the same kind of themes.
Yeah, well, it felt kind of like an upgrade of Brazil.
Yeah. Sort of a visual update. I thought it also felt more approachable, less angry than Brazil did. I mean, Gilliam was really, really just pissed off when he made Brazil, and it's not hard to understand why, whether you agree with that or not. He felt less angry in this one. I felt
it seems less angry. I think he's probably still just as pissed off, but I think he's able to hide it a little bit better. I think what you're talking about, how the bureaucracy thing in Brazil, I feel like this movie, the reason why Brazil works, because in 85, people are like, oh God, all this crap, we have all this paperwork, all this bureaucracy stuff. And I think it was particularly bad in England. And so I think this movie is, although I really love Brazil, I think this movie is a tiny bit more relatable because we all understand the influx of technology and it taking over our world. So we can see how that works a little bit. Well, maybe not better, but it's a little bit more relatable as an audience member for this film than, say, Brazil. Now, mind you, if I was, this age when Brazil came out, and maybe I would have, felt the same. But
yeah, I definitely agree with that. I found it easier to relate to the protagonist in this in Zero Theorem versus Brazil. Mm-hmm. But I think in Gilliam having tempered how he presents his message somewhat, he's kind of lost a bit of an edge that made Brazil work better. It was edgier, it was more biting, more incisive. Right. I didn't really get that from this movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were some funny bits, some that really is absurd things that you kind of had to laugh at. Tilda Swinton as a computerized psychologist, that
pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that was that was clever. But I don't know. I don't know how much weight it really added to the film.
Exactly.
Like a lot of things in the movie.
I think you talking about the bite, how this film seems to be liking the bite that Brazil did, is I think because it doesn't have that bite, it kind of feels like it's just a bunch of... The film feels more overly ambitious than it kind of gets to be. Like, there's a lot of ideas that gets portrayed in this, just like a little less than 2 hours. Yeah. And it doesn't, because it doesn't have that edge, it feels like, like,
yeah, it had some bigger ideas in it than a lot of his other movies, like Brazil or say 12 Monkeys. And Gilliam himself has said, this kind of fits as a sort of a mostly unrelated trilogy with Brazil and 12 Monkeys. This is the third and last part of those.
Right. And yet Brazil was already part of a different kind of trilogy.
Yeah, yeah.
Weird. Whatever.
Very much so. So, I wanted to like this movie a lot more than I did. I did find it more relatable, more approachable, and I appreciated its bigger ideas and its ambition. And there were some good performances by really pretty much everyone in the cast.
Yeah, everyone was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Gilliam's pretty good at figuring out who would be best in a role and also getting the best out of that person. I mean, the guy made a bunch, he made a movie with 8 little people and got them all to do amazing things. So, I mean, he's good at getting stuff out of children. He's good at getting stuff out of Matt Damon. I mean, sorry, Matt. It seemed like too easy of a joke. But, I mean, it's just, I was not worried about the caliber of actor he was going to get, because generally no one sucks in a Terry Gilliam movie. So,
that being said, I didn't ultimately really like the movie. It is not without merit, but I felt like there were better movies to have seen, better ways to have spent my time. I'm not mad. I'm like, I want my 2 hours back. But this doesn't really quite clear the bar of being a good movie in my mind.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna rate this a C plus. If it happens to be on some premium cable channel, don't watch a basic cable version that'd be watered down. That would be completely worthless. And if you're not doing anything else, go ahead and watch it. This isn't essential Gilliam for anybody to see. If you're just that into Gilliam and you have to see everything he does, okay, watch it. I'm not going to tell you not to. Yeah. But for anybody else, Rent.
Yeah. I have seen everything the man has directed, apparently. I mean, there's some short films I haven't, but yes, like the other day I was looking through, I was like, oh, I've seen all of these. And I always kind of feel bad when I'm doing this as a reviewer. I think it's like a part of me feels like it's on one hand, as a reviewer, I feel like I'm supposed to kind of compare an artist's work to his previous things. And another part of me is like, well, that's stupid. I mean, like, he's gonna grow as an artist. I mean, like, he should, I should be able to just sort of look at it as the thing of it is in and of itself.
Yeah, but by that token, it's like you want to see, has he grown? Is he improving? Is his product more refined now? Is he better at doing what he does?
Mm-hmm. And so I kind of like I had conflict with this movie. I would say that like when I was talking to you earlier about it before we recorded, I kind of feel like this movie it's sort of like a mixture of 12 Monkeys and Brazil with like a touch of Fisher King. And you hadn't seen Fisher King, but
that's true. There are a couple of Gilliam movies I haven't seen. Fisher King is one of them. I kind of felt there's like I said, a lot of Brazil in this.
It's mostly Brazil. You feel Brazil the most.
Little bit of a movie like The Matrix, where there's some questioning the nature of existence.
And they even make fun of it too.
They did.
One of the characters blatantly makes fun of the Matrix at one point.
Number of years too late for that to really be effective, I think. So, but I kind of chuckled. Little Brazil, little The Matrix, and a little bit of Alfie just saying, "What's it all about?"
What's it all about? The funny thing about this movie is that it's very allegorical. Like the fact that he crunches numbers, we have kind of a vague understanding of what he does. His bosses referred to merely as management. He lives in an abandoned church. There's all these weird religions that are out when he goes outside, like the Church of Batman the Redeemer. Like an attempt to solve a theorem that makes everything in the world equal to nothing, and it had zero theorem must equal 100%, which sounds ridiculous, but that's a thing he has to work on. And I think there's a lot of neat ideas. There's a lot of smart stuff that's being thought about, and I think so without being spoiler in any way, I went to go see this movie with a couple of my film buddies, and we were talking about how Terry has become less and less, Python-esque as the years have gone by. But when I went to sleep, or as I was going to sleep the night after I saw it, I thought to myself, but the ending, the point he's basically making is incredibly Python-esque. It's sort of subtle, but I don't know. I think it's a movie that I think will need to be reevaluated in 5 to 10 years. I think there's a lot of interesting ideas. I agree. I don't think it's essential Gilliam, at least not right now. And it's, I would say it was better than the Brothers Grimm, but I wouldn't say it was better than the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. And I think Parnassus was kind of polarizing for people, but I liked it. So I'm going to give it what was it, how I described it the other day? The movie is sort of in between a area of not bad and doesn't suck. Like if I were going to put it in like 7th grade terms. So I think that basically garners it a straight up C. So just C.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to put me off seeing Terry's next movie, but it's
whenever that is.
But it's, I don't know. It wasn't particularly great, I guess.
Okay, so C+ from me, C from Andrew.
Yeah. There you go.
There it is. That's the Zero Theorem.
Yep.
So we'll be back again soon. There are actually some movies out in theaters right now. We're going to see some of them, and we're going to talk about them.
We are.
Sorry for the long absence, all 2 of you who are watching.
Thanks
for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.